A network media executive is here to help you up your social media video game. Stay tuned.
This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. How many homes are you going to sell this year? Do you have the right tools? Is your website turning soft leads into interested buyers? Are you spending money on leads that aren't converting? Well, Real Geeks is your solution. Find out why agents across the country choose Real Geeks as their technology partner. Real Geeks was created by an agent for agents. They pride themselves on delivering a sales and marketing solution so that you can easily generate more business. Their agent websites are fast and built for lead conversion with a smooth search experience for your visitors. Real Geeks also includes an easy-to-use agent CRM. So once a lead signs up on your website, you can track their interest and have great follow-up conversations. Real Geeks is loaded with a ton of marketing tools to nurture your leads and increase brand awareness. Visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod and find out why realtors come to Real Geeks to generate more business. Again, visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod. And now, on to our show. Today's episode is brought to you by Corded.io. Are you looking for agents to join your brokerage or team? Now, as a real estate recruiter, I can tell you the answer is always yes. But most agents aren't looking to move right now. So how do you know who to contact? Well, what if I were to tell you there's a recruiting and retention tool powered by artificial intelligence that shows you exactly which agents in your local market are looking to leave their brokerage right now and which agents at your own firm are also looking to leave you? Now, I've been recruiting realtors for 15 years and I've hired over 2,000 agents. I can tell you with no exaggeration, this is the tool I've been waiting for. Corded's AI looks for trends across dozens of variables for each agent in your market and shows you which agents they believe are likely to move. Not only does it do that, but Corded's AI went and visited my recruiting website and read everything I offer. So now when I'm recruiting, Corded's AI tells me exactly what to say based on that agent's needs and what my brokerage can offer. It even writes emails for me. I've never seen anything like it, and I use it every single day. Now, if you are looking to grow your brokerage, Corded.io is the best tool out there. Visit Corded.io to schedule a demo. Again, that's Corded.io. And now, onto the show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. And in just a moment, we're going to be speaking with our resident video social media expert, Kim Rittberg, to talk exclusively about how to create better and more engaging videos in 2025 to get more leads. Now, Kim, this is recorded live from our webinar that we did last month. So if you missed it, here it is. It's awesome. Kim walks you through exactly what you should be doing right now. By the way, we have another webinar coming out. We do these monthly. So you could always visit this website to register for the next one, keepingitrealwebinar.com. Use the promo code podcast, keepingitrealwebinar.com, promo code podcast, and you can attend these live, interact with myself, with our guests, with each other. It's really a lot of fun, and we're really super grateful to be able to bring this to you. And we know it's been really, the feedback we've got has just been amazing. So we're going to keep doing them. All right, let's get right to it. This is from a live recording we did last month with Kim Rittberg. Everybody, we have made it now to the final session of the day. Congratulate yourselves for taking time to better your business. This is going to be a super fun session, and we want you to participate because Kim is not just going to talk to you about videos, she's going to actually help you with your video challenges. So put some stuff in either the chat or the questions, and you in the question and answer section, and we are going to help you along the way. But first, let me introduce our amazing final speaker of the day. So we are talking, of course, about friend to the show. She comes on every single month, gives you great tips on how to improve your video presentation, how to get you to do video for real estate so that you can actually drive business leads. We all need leads right now. We all need listings. Well, guess what? Lots of people are getting those via social media. So this is why Kim comes on every single month to tell us exactly how to do that. But let me tell you about why you should listen to Kim, and you should because she knows what she's talking about. Let's dive into her history. Now, Kim Rittberg is a 6-time award-winning digital marketer and real estate video coach who helps agents attract clients and is seen as the go-to agent through video, or to be seen as the go-to agent through videos and podcasts. Her agents have earned tens of millions of dollars in new home sales through their work together. Kim spent 15 years as a media exec at Netflix, People Magazine, and TV News. She launched actually the first ever video unit for Us Weekly and was integral in its $100 million sale. Kim has been featured in Business Insider and Forbes and contributes to Fast Company. She's a speaker. She speaks everywhere across the country, including Berkshire Hathaway Home Services at their convention. She's spoken in Inman Connect. She's spoken at Fast Company Innovation Festival and the Women's Real Estate Investment Summit. She is a graduate of the University of Pennsylvania, Ansberg School, and is a judge for the Emmys, Webbies, and Anthem Awards. Kim also hosts the Top 1% podcast, The Exit Interview. Link to that in the participants here. You can find that anywhere podcasts are served if you're listening from home. It is called The Exit Interview with Kim Rittberg, which shares stories of agents and founders along with their concrete advice every Wednesday, plus 5-minute marketing episodes on Fridays. Fun fact, Kim spent a year backpacking solo and used to perform improv comedy. Not at the same time, and she also speaks Spanish. So follow Kim on Instagram, which is Kim Rittberg, Rittberg. We put her handles in the chat there, and for our podcast listeners, that will be in the show notes as well. Kim, once again, welcome back.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be with you. I want to say it is my kids' spring break and I am on the seminar because I love being with DJ and there's always so much knowledge dropped here. So I want you to drop in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you from? I just got back from Arizona. I live in New York. And today we are learning how to generate leads while you sleep, how to generate clients and leads from video for real estate agents. So let's dive into it. I'm going to open the chat. I want to know where everyone's from. And if your name is not on it, if you can rename it so I know who you are. We got Chicago, we got New Orleans. Great, great, great. Oh, I just spoke it in New Orleans at the Next Home conference. Great. And then we're going to talk about if you're interested in growing your business online and getting credibility, leads, and clients, that you're in the right place. All right. I want to know in the chat, have you gotten leads or clients from social media, or like leads, and then have you turned them into clients? So drop in here. If you've, hi, Tim from New Orleans, Shola from Chicago, Cheryl from Chicago, Jojo from Chicago. All right, a lot of Chicago folks today. Have you gotten leads from social? And then have you turned them into clients? That's what I'm asking right now in the chat. Okay, great. Awesome. Great, great, great. Perfect. Virginia, hi, Eliza. Awesome. Great. And then what are you looking to do in 2025 for video and social media? So for those of you who haven't gotten leads, or those of you who have gotten leads, where are you looking to grow into in the next year? Need better conversions. Great. Okay. So the promise today is that I am not going to give you theoretical things. I'm going to give you actionable tips. I always make it actionable. I think that's really, really important. I value your time. And so I have spent 15 years in media, and I've been developing this system that I now teach to agents. But my ask for you is that you are going to take action. So people, you're here, you're showing up, which I love. And I want you to type into the chat that you will take action. Okay. You'll take action on some of the tips you're learning today. We have a short time here together, but you're going to learn a lot. And if you like me and you resonate with me, I'll show you how we can work together at the end of the seminar. And I want you to write action that you are going to take something today and actually apply it. Great. So Kiki is saying she wants to create videos with stronger call to action. Awesome. Okay, great. And I want to see some action in the chat. Action means you are going to actually apply some of these. So I want you to let me know which one of these do you fall into. So I generally find with my agents, we have a couple of categories. We have some people who are hiders. So if you are a hider, meaning you hide from the camera, I want you to type into the chat that you're a hider. All right. I'm looking for the hiders, meaning you're not showing up on camera, you're following, you're looking at content, but you're not actually confidently showing up on camera, right? You're at your coffee shop, you're scrolling, you're doom scrolling, but you're not putting yourself on camera. I want to see, are you throwing spaghetti at the wall? Maybe you're showing up on camera, but there's no real strategy in it. That would be spaghetti. Write the word spaghetti in there. And then if you think it's got it all covered, you don't need my help, maybe you're a cool cat. Usually people are not a cool cat because they're like, I want to learn. So that's great. Spaghetti. All right, Charles, spaghetti. I appreciate everyone's honesty. Are you spaghetti hider? All right, just drop that in there. And then what generally is happening from social media is that you put your content out there and nothing happens, right? Spaghetti, you're a new agent. Thank you, Eliza. Great. And this is what you're going to learn right now. How do you convert your content, your videos into leads, clients, and revenue? So your current state is like you're showing up on camera. Maybe you're either not showing up on camera or you don't have a proper strategy in place, but you're definitely not seeing the leads or clients. You're on social, but you're not having results. And all of us, like we're not, teenagers. We're not college kids. We're doing this for our business, right? So it's not just a hobby. So I want you to drop in which of these goals are some of your goals for why you're using social media. You're looking to bring in leads. You're looking to get confident on camera. Maybe you want to stop leaving money on the table because actually every time you're on your phone and you're spending time scrolling, you're actually leaving money on the table because that could be time you can use to generate actual revenue. All right. And then you want to use your time on social media to expand your sphere of influence. So drop in if those are some of the things. Great. Eliza says all of the above. Great. And I really want to clarify this leaving money on the table. I think what we don't realize is we are consuming a lot of content and we need to be creating more content. This is not a hobby, right? If you're an agent, you're not on social media for fun. You're on social media to make money. So we really have to turn that sense of that phone can be a revenue generating machine. So we're going to stop wasting that time on social media and turn your content into cash. Why should you listen to me? Well, DJ just gave you the whole spiel, but I am passionate about this. I live in New York City. I have 2 kids, and I'm passionate about it because harnessing video and social media has changed my life, and that is not hyperbole. And now I'll explain that in a second. But I've helped hundreds and hundreds of agents, founders, and consultants make money and find their voice, build their confidence through video and social media, specifically bringing those leads and clients. But a lot of the stuff that comes with that is you become more confident, right? You become more confident in yourself and in your pitch. And that was me. I worked in Netflix. I covered the Oscars. I'm pregnant there, actually. And then when I was working during childbirth in media, I realized I love what I do, but I don't want to be in the hospital working. And so I realized I want to work for myself. But like agents, I had to start letting people know who I am. And to actually be visible, I really had to start showing up on camera, but I was totally hiding. And if no one can see you, they can't hire you. When you really think about those filtered headshots that everyone uses, it doesn't build that relationship. Hiding from the camera is hiding from clients. So that's the first thing I'm going to leave with you today. Once I started showing up on camera and I started using a process that I now teach in my video bootcamp class, I started investing in myself, both financially, monetarily, in coaches, but also showing up on camera consistently. And now I've been able to make multiples of my investment. And I've actually last year doubled my corporate salary working for myself. And that is all from video. People are like, how? I'm like, video marketing. So if you think you're too late, you're not too late. Look around. Probably not every competitor in your market is using video and leveraging it as much as they could be. So you can make a dent. You can get business. You will get business, even if you're starting out. And now I speak, I have clients. I just did the keynote speech at Next Home. I spoke at Inman Connect. These are all goals of mine, and agents have different goals. Everyone has their own unique goals, but broadly speaking, video can make all of your goals and dreams come true. For me, it was about flexibility and freedom, and now I have fun with it. At first, it was like, I want to do this thing so I don't have to work in the hospital. But now I love it. To me, it's really, really, really fun, and I want that for you. I want you to be able to create the life that you deserve by using video and social media. You already have these tools. They're the most effective. They're the cheapest marketing tools you could possibly have. Okay. And that was, I guess I just said that, but now I am. Cool. And then that's the life I want. I wanted to be able to get my kids from school. I do that, not every day, but a lot of the days. And And mastering video is the fastest way to create the life you want and grow your income. So I want to know if you are looking to change your life, if you are looking to take that time that you spend doom scrolling and actually turn it into revenue generating content that actually can change your life. I want you to write yes in the chat. The answer cannot be no. This is a trick question. It cannot be no. Content converts to cash. The very first thing I want you to realize is that your phone is a tool to make money. The faster you know that, the better. Great. DJ, Kiki, Eliza, Cheryl, awesome. And then these are the blocks holding you back. I want you to acknowledge which one are these blocks, and then we're going to break the myths of that. If you're not showing up on camera because you are worried that you're going to look silly, can you drop silly in the chat? Okay. And then if you're struggling with video because you don't know what to make, maybe type in tools. You're wondering about tools, or you're worried about how much time it's going to take, right? These are the kind of the major groups that I find with my agents: tools and time. Yep. Tools and time. So those are the major ones. Good. So we don't necessarily have people being so camera shy, but we do have the tools and the time. The good news is I'm going to teach you how to feel differently about it and actually how to make it more effective. We're going to bust those myths. I want you to commit to actually taking some of these things with you today so that you're actually going to put them into play. The truth about video is there's number one, a way to apply your in-person skills to on-camera confidence. So that's a mindset shift and a skill set shift. So for those of you who were feeling silly, instead of thinking I'm silly, think I am teaching people, I'm helping people with a huge investment, right? This is a huge investment for them. My educating them is going to help them. So I'm not just showing up, being silly, like I'm actually helping them. Then for those of you who are worried that you didn't know what to make, of course it's hard. Absolutely. Like my kids are in elementary school and they're doing writing. My daughter struggles with writing. Writing without a prompt and a system is really, really hard for adults, for kids, for everyone. So once you have a system, it's actually not that hard. So it's organizing the things you're already doing. And then once you have that system, you will have ideas flowing. Great. And then the last one, I find a lot of people struggle with analysis paralysis. Once you have a strategy and then you're implementing it and then you have accountability, that forces you into that next stage. Not just about ideation, but it's also about actually doing it. So again, once you have a system in place, it's like a lot of things, right? I bet starting to be a real estate agent was super overwhelming at first. The first few months are super overwhelming. So once you have the tools and you understand the strategy, you can get through that. So video can do complicated. Video is not complicated. You will not be cringy. There's a system and a strategy that's proven. And I'm going to help you get there. So today we're going to talk about the Video Boss Matrix. So once you understand where you are on the matrix, then you can get to where you want to go. So when you're in the bottom left corner, you're low confidence, low strategy, you're a novice. So I want you to drop in where you are. If you're high strategy, but low confidence, you're a hider. High strategy, low confidence, you're a hider, right? So that means you have ideas, but you're not putting them out there. If you have high confidence and low strategy, you can come off as phony, meaning you're putting stuff out there, but like there's no strategy behind it. And we're really trying to get into that video boss category. So let me know in the chat where you are on this matrix. Drop in the chat. Where are you on this matrix? Okay. And now I'm going to teach you the 4 E's to getting to being a video boss. Lisa is the hider. Okay. And so Lisa, I'm going to also remind you that the earlier thing about not showing up on camera or not posting is really this like reframe that people actually do want to hear from you and you're helping them. So I'm going to give you that reframe. Eliza is a novice, so she is low strategy and low confidence. Okay. So Eliza, we'll build you into that system, right? We'll help you build a system. And so let us know where are you, novice, hider? Most people honestly are novice or hiders. Very few people are phonies. And then we'll get you to video boss. That is where you will be once you really get into the groove. Okay, the 4 E's of how to become a video boss. I said this before, but you really have to understand content can convert to cash. Once you really have a mindset shift that your phone can actually bring you leads and bring you clients, you have to have that belief. And until you do, then you're not gonna be able to master video. So I want you to just remember that content converts to cash. And if you believe that, drop a $ or an emoji or whatever. Sometimes a $ is a little easier. Drop a little $ in the chat. Awesome. 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 Great. Eliza, Kiki, awesome. So the very first one, first E that I'm teaching is engage. So it is very, very, very important to be bringing in people to have them get to know you. So think about video as being a part of your business, like a modern networking tool. So it's if you walked into a coffee shop and somebody introduced you and said, does everyone know Lisa? Lisa is the most wonderful agent based out of, she didn't say where she was from. So I'm going to say Cheryl. Cheryl is the most wonderful agent based out of Chicago. Hey, do you all know JoJo? She's the queen of the North Side, right? So again, you want to basically mirror you walking into a coffee shop, being introduced to 5 to 10 people, Chicago, okay. Walking into a coffee shop and meeting 5 new people, but you get to be in your sweatpants in your house. So you have to kind of remember that this is the new coffee shop. So instead of feeling weird and like a black hole, you have to say, this is a new coffee shop and I'm committed to doing it. Because I know all my agents show up. They show up in person, they're meeting people all the time, but you're not showing up in the right way on camera and on video. I know that because you just told me. I'm not talking smack. So you're thinking about that sphere of influence. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of someone who's engaging in the right way. So Brianne is an agent of mine who's from Florida. And she was very, very, very camera shy. But she did know that she eventually wanted to start her own brokerage, and she has. And so she did video boot camp with me. And in this past year, she was able to make $2.5 million, not in commission. I'm sorry, I have to rewrite that. $2.5 million in new home sales directly from social media because of taking video boot camp. She started showing up on camera, and 2 people she had met years ago reached out. That has started a snowball effect. And she's been able to hire 2 more agents because they see her as an agent who's ahead of the curve with social media. So once she started showing up and engaging with people, really starting to get on camera, breaking through that barrier of I'm going to feel silly, the hider category, and started walking around her area. It's like, hey, everyone, this is Brianne. There's a new development behind me. Little baby steps, right? Not everything all at once, but little baby steps to getting on camera. And now, last year, $2.5 million in new home sales. That's pretty awesome. So, and this is not like an outlier. When you start showing up consistently on camera, people start seeing you and you're activating that sphere of influence. Okay. The second E is expertise. So you need to show up as an expert online. So I wouldn't go to a doctor if I didn't see their diploma, right? I would really want to make sure that they know what they're talking about before they take out my appendix. So you really want to show people that you know real estate. The important part of that is figuring out how to balance your knowledge and your personality, right? And so I have this program called Video Bootcamp, and I help people figure out what makes them special. So I think a lot of agents come to me and they're like, I just sell homes. I'm like, no. Everybody has like a thing that makes them special, whether it's your personality, your expertise, the certain niche you work in, but there is something unique to all of us. And so we want to make sure that that's coming out on camera. So really bringing in your own personality and your expertise. And so here's an example. So Randy's a 1% agent in New York City. He already had a big following, but he wasn't sure it was converting. So we focused on doing an expert-based video series, and he landed a $1 million home referral because of that series. I'm always like, how did you know? He said, they told me that they found me through the YouTube video. Okay, great. So he's also been able to build up a really, really, really big referral business. So that's a good example of him showing up. It was an expert focused series, right? Where he was actually sharing expertise about moving to New York and what he would recommend. Oh, I love that. Yeah, great. Randy's on this. Awesome. And okay, so the next one I'm going to share, I'm going to Cool. I want to know from people here who has had coaches or taking courses before, and how did it go? I always like to hear if people have what they've done before. And then I am also going to drop in my tips. You guys can drop in for my free real estate tips. How did it go if you've done coaching or courses before? Cool. The next one is about emoting. So how you're showing up and really being more you. So I know I said before about expertise, and sometimes we think expertise means like kind of being a robot, but actually it's really more about showcasing who you are. So I'm going to give you an example. I worked with this agent named Jessica in Texas, and she came to me and she felt very, a little bit camera shy, but also overthinking, really having that analysis paralysis. And one thing we talked about was she was a mom of 2 and building her business. And so I said, okay, like let people in, right? Show them that you're a mom and building your business and kind of what's involved. You don't need to go too deep into your personal, but just kind of open the door a little more to that. This past year, she closed $5 million in sales, new home sales directly from video. Like these are people that they've been following her. They were like, I've really admired that you seemed like an expert. And they felt that she was really knowledgeable. That's actually what they said when they switched from one agent to her. So I think it's really important to understand that once you're building that relationship with people and letting them really connect with you and feeling your emotional angle, that's how it happens. Cool. And also, I think it's really important. Everyone always thinks like maybe like they're too late, but you're never too late. It's 2025. I promise you, not every agent in your area is using video, and those who are really scooping up the clients because video keeps you top of mind. And I want to know, how would it feel to have a video strategy plan and implementation? Like, how would that feel for you? I'm just writing this in the chat. Cool. And then another E is entertain. So when we're talking about entertain, you don't necessarily have to be doing TikTok dances. So I think it's really important that we kind of reframe what that means to entertain. First of all, just listed and just sold, it can count for expert, right? People see you're selling, and that's great. It's kind of the bare minimum. So just listed and just sold is really kind of the bare minimum for an agent just to show that you have business. But people aren't really going to follow you if all you're offering them is home tours and just listed and just sold. You need to kind of bring them into your life. So it doesn't mean dancing, but it means like sharing more of yourself, sharing the fun things that are happening at work, sharing the bloopers of an open house gone wrong, right? And so really bringing people into the process of that and letting them see more of you. And entertaining can be a lot of things, right? It can be literally doing dances, fine. It could be you with your dog. It can be you showing the inside, like the real funny but true insides of your work. And here's an example of another agent who's really entertaining. Judy is doing a great job. She actually was invited to speak on a social media panel for Element, which is awesome. She wanted to craft a video strategy in bringing leads, referrals, and sales, leaning into her love of journalism. She was interested in doing entertaining and informative content. She just closed 2 new deals, and she gets referrals every single week because she's leaning into video so much that that's really elevating her in people's minds. Okay. And then I want to ask, I think I know the answer because people put in the things now, but do you have a social or video strategy? I think I know the answer because a lot of you posted in the chat earlier, but I'll ask again. We have Ariel, Cheryl, Eliza, Gina, Jojo, Lisa, Timothy. Not really. Let's talk luxury level. Yeah. At this price, well, they won't want to see bloopers. Oh my gosh, Lisa, I love that question. I 100% disagree. I think when we're talking about entertaining can be you doing something lighthearted in a beautiful luxury building. So like the person that we showed earlier, Randy is showing I forget the exact price point, $25 million, $30 million home. A lot of his content is really entertaining, truly. It's not always bloopers like a pie in your face. It's not like, like so silly, but like fun, right? Like anything that's kind of lighthearted. I think luxury, it doesn't always necessarily, it means sophisticated and it means expertise, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're always serious and buttoned up. So actually I would say if you're doing bloopers in a way that actually showcases you being more relatable, it's a great angle. So I'm just trying to think of another example. So Randy's a really good example. He actually does a lot of fun stuff. He's very like, he likes to perform. He handles really high price points in New York, 3 million to like 30 million. So I think it's about not making it silly, but making it lighthearted and relatable. And I like Timothy's point of relatable. Does that make sense, Lisa? And we could do some Q&A afterwards also. I love doing Q&A at the end. Maybe we can focus on like how luxury is different from other angles. Does that work? Maybe TJ at the end, we can do more Q&A. Cool. Awesome. Okay, awesome. What's been most valuable so far? So we have the 3 E's, the 4 E's. We have engage, emote, entertain, and expert. What's been the most helpful so far? If you can drop in the chat, what's been the most helpful so far? Awesome. Emoting. Yeah, I think emoting is something that people forget to be real. Sometimes we kind of end up being robotic. So Lisa, I love that question. So engaging is actually a little bit of the one-to-one. So getting into people's actually engaging with them. So I have a couple of, tips on how you can do that more. So emoting is actually like opening more of yourself and your life to people. Engaging, I would say, is like actually saying, going into someone's feed and like connecting with them, sending messages, letting them connect with you, putting in ways for them to connect with you directly. And then emoting is really, you're not necessarily like doing the one-to-one engagement, but you're really opening more of yourself. So like for Jessica, that mom, that was showing she's packing the lunch and then going off to the office. And then engaging, I could show you a little bit in the Q&A, some other ways that I love to teach people to give people ways to engage with them. I'm working with some agents in California who are luxury agents, and they're like a multifamily team, and I'm giving them exact ways on how to engage with people. And that is a little different than emoting, which is more of the, I want to say personal behavior way, interpersonal behavior method. Cool. Great. And then we're going to save some time for Q&A, right? DJ and I will do some Q&A at the end. And if you are liking what I'm learning and you're looking to have results similar to Jessica, who brought in $5 million, Brianne, who brought in $2.5 million, if you're looking for more of those results and you're actually, really want to do it this year, make 2025 the year you make video be a way to bring in clients for yourself, I'm going to share with you, I run this program called Video Bootcamp, and the next session is starting in April. I do it 3 times a year. And this is basically all of the things that I've learned from Netflix, my other TV programs that I've worked on, and my experience in social media and working with agents. It's called Video Bootcamp. It's a live coaching program and a self-paced curriculum. So it's both live coaching and work that you can go back to and look at later. It is a complete system that you implement it and you see results. It basically gets you off that silly hamster wheel of content, and it teaches you how to be confident on camera and how to make videos and content that attracts clients, and how to engage and convert them. So it's one thing to just say like, okay, someone saw my post, but then how do you get them to actually come into your world to turn into those millions of dollars in home sales? It is a fully built system with implementation. You copy and paste the work that I've already done. And then these are some of the templates that we work through. I give you scripts. I give you a way to identify your unique characteristics, a content calendar, all things like that. And then I give you step-by-step how-to videos so you can actually like learn. And then we do live coaching as well. I walk you through it all. And then here is a way to schedule a call with me. So for any people who sign up to schedule a call with me, if you do sign up for Video Bootcamp, you'll get a $750 value bonus, a strategy call with me. I will actually build your roadmap with you for where you're going to go next year. And so I'll leave that up for anyone interested in connecting on a call. You will get a personalized strategy for being a Keeping It Real person. And so just to review, Video Bootcamp is a small group coaching program, limited spots. You'll get on-camera confidence, strategy, and implementation. And I only run it 2 times a year, 3 times a year is the intensive. And then you get a special bonus for Keeping It Real. So I'll leave that up, and then we can do some Q&A. I'll leave up the Calendly to connect with me, and DJ and I can open it up for Q&A.
Thanks, Kim. So I am a huge fan. Kim and I have been working together for several years now, and she is the real deal, and she will get you on track. She's amazing. I mean, every person that I've sent to Kim has reported back to me with incredible results. In fact, we've interviewed many of Kim's clients to be on our podcast just because they're so happy with her work. So she's the real thing. Kim, I have a question about content. So a lot of times agents go, I don't always know what to post. And I've always thought maybe a good idea is think about all the questions your clients ask you for good short form content. Like any question that comes up during a transaction, or maybe when somebody's thinking about buying or selling, you get these repeated questions over and over again. What do you think about ask and answer? Turn your camera around, go, hey, I just had a client ask me this and here's what I told them, those kind of things.
Yes. So I love that. And I think that that speaks to, in our minds, we think like making content is very complicated and heavy and hard. But once you have a system where you understand what you're making, it becomes a lot easier. So I think it's like the same thing with writing. If you said to me, Kim, write a creative story about like some other country and magical powers, I'd be like, I can't do that. It's like totally overwhelming. So I think it's the same with social media. If you step back and say, okay, let's build a strategy for you. These are the things we talk about. It then becomes a lot easier to make content. It makes it faster to make content because you're not always thinking, what do I talk about? And it makes it easier. So every single agent has questions from clients. So after every meeting, you could just write down a couple of questions. So I do this. I guest lecture at Syracuse for undergraduate students on communication. They ask such good questions. I write it down afterwards, whatever I can remember immediately in the moment. And then I start to make content about it, whether it's video or quote text content. But you're right. It's a great way to do it is to just start saying, oh, today someone asked me about X. So why this is so great, not only is it content, but it actually does two of those E's. It shows you as an expert and it engages with people because you're like, I just answered something that you want to know. And then you can like add some engagement tools in it. So it not only helps you come up with content quickly, but it also showcases that you're credible. Because if you didn't have clients,
Yeah.
no client asked you that question, right? So it does double duty.
Now, as far as posting video, we have lots of different social media channels. There's TikTok, there's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Where do you see real estate agents having the most success?
Oh, such a good question. So I always say you should be wherever your clients are. So I have a couple personal preferences because, and Lisa, if you're still here, drop any questions you have in the chat. I know you were asking about engagement versus emoting. Instagram and Facebook have a couple of features that I think are really, really strong to actually take it from, okay, I saw Eliza's post onto dinner, but instead saying, oh, I saw Eliza's story and now I want to actually like write back to her. I think that lends itself really, really well to the one-to-one connection. So I think that's for Facebook and Instagram. I think Facebook is a bit of a different demographic. Instagram is a different bit of a different demographic. But I think when we're talking about engaging and turning it from, okay, I watched Lisa's video and then that was nice to, hey, Lisa, like let's connect. Facebook and Instagram has a lot of really great tools. TikTok is like huge, really popular. If your audience is there, be there. Great, amazing. It's a huge, huge booming social platform. LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn for real estate, I'm bullish on LinkedIn, but I do think that it has such a corporate vibe on there that like you have to leverage it for people in corporate and at corporate. So if you're doing like new development work or you want to do a LinkedIn Live specifically about like rent versus buy in your city, but it's kind of, it's really more corporate. So it's like you have to really think about what is the content that's going to engage people that feels right for that. So that's the thing about LinkedIn. I think it's a great platform. But you have to be really like what's going to get engagement on LinkedIn is very different than what's going to get engagement on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I just started posting on LinkedIn and I realized, boy, there's not as much competition there too. So that's another reason to consider.
100%. I think that that's a really good point is that like not everyone is there. And I do think though that for agents looking to do LinkedIn, like that's something you should connect with me on a call. It's a whole different strategy. It is a really
Yeah.
different strategy than the other video platforms, the other platforms.
All right. Tim is asking for LinkedIn, is it more just about complementing people? For LinkedIn, is it more about just complimenting people on major changes? So in LinkedIn, you can see when people have these, okay. So what Tim's asking is it more about a sort of a strategy. Now, this is actually a great thing that Tim's mentioning. So I'm going to bring this up. What Tim's suggesting is using LinkedIn as a research and development arm. So what he's saying is if you go into LinkedIn, you can see when people are making moves within a company, when they get a new position, when they do have a career anniversary, when their birthday is happening, when they've written a paper, et cetera, when they post. So what Tim's saying is, using LinkedIn to actually see what people are doing and then creating content. And one really cool thing that you can do via video in LinkedIn is in their direct messages, you can actually send video messages directly to the person in the LinkedIn app. So it's a new feature they just rolled out. So great question. But I want to go to Lisa's question. So Lisa says, "Hey, I'm all about luxury. I want more luxury. If my ideal target is luxury, I don't need to talk to them. I don't think basic real estate info or glossary terms are their lane." That's probably a good point. They already have bought, sold before. I feel 95 to even 99% of real estate Instagram is for first time home buyers. So she's saying, how do I attract more luxury clients and sort of be seen as different from all the other agents posting?
So that's a great question. So I think that we are, I just talked about this on a mastermind for luxury agents based in California. So I like to think about it this way, Lisa. There's like, for every Oscar film, there's like a B slasher film that wins a Razzie Award, right? They're beautiful high-end things, and then there's like cheesy schlocky things, right? So Instagram, real estate on Instagram is not all that like low-end schlocky information. If everyone you know is on Instagram, then they're not all like low-end basic. I don't mean just the buyers, I mean the agents and the buyers. People are on Instagram. Like they might not be hiring you. You don't feel like they're hiring you from Instagram, maybe, but they're probably watching you. They're lurking. So a lot of people are lurkers before they buy. And so, Lisa, I'm not sure if your question is about like the content to put out there or whether or not you should be there. But number one, the content is as sophisticated or high end as you choose for it to be. So I talked about this in a private mastermind about real estate like 2 weeks ago. It's like, if we're like, hey, buy from me and this is why, right? That's like cheesy and salesy, but there's other ways to film really sophisticated content that is educational. Most agents post content that is low level for first-time home buyers. Yeah, and that's okay. If they're serving their ideal clients, it's totally fine. If you're serving a luxury and buyer, we're going to make different types of content. And I think that's totally valid, but we're going to make a different type of content when you're selling your third home or a vacation home or you're leveling up or it's a different price point. That's a different type of content. You're not going to say first time home buyers or renters of this price point. It's a different thing, right? So maybe it's their vacation home, maybe it's their second home. So we're still talking about the connecting with them. We're still talking about engaging with them. We're still talking about emoting. We're still talking about expertise. So I think those tenets of video content doesn't change, but what you actually make will change based on your clients. And I think that that's totally true.
Yeah, I would suggest, content around things like tax strategies for high net worth individuals around purchasing and selling homes, right? That would be a great idea. You could talk to financial planners, estate planning attorneys. You could literally just go contact estate planning attorneys and say, hey, can I come to your office? I want to ask you about what the sort of top 1% or the luxury clients are doing to minimize their tax liability. How are they, using a leverage in real estate to do that? You can actually interview experts. It doesn't even have to necessarily be your content, right?
Totally. And I think there's two things. I agree, definitely. And I'm dropping in my calendar here because I feel like Lisa and Timothy had like very specific questions and I'd love to hop on a call. One thing to think about. So for example, I'm going to give you an example. I live in New York City. So you talk about top 1% agents. It's like top 0.01% agents. So the home prices are ridiculous, right? So one of my agents, Daniel, we did a shoot day. And one of the things we focused on was his advice for CEOs and founders and how their home search is different. So Lisa, when we're talking about, and that's for Instagram. We put it on Instagram. We put it on YouTube. I don't know if we put it on LinkedIn, I forget. But so that's a good topic. It's like you want to sell to CEOs and founders, then make content for them. So our video focused on how to find the home that serves your needs. So maybe he was saying CEOs or founders might be using their homes secondarily as entertaining for their clients, right? A really massive penthouse with beautiful light, a beautiful skyline view. You're going to be using that, right? In a different way. So it's, love you, DJ. I was just reading Lisa's comment. Love you, DJ. What about me? Nobody loves me. I'm super unloved. I'm just kidding.
I have another idea too. So this is a little bit of a darker idea, so I apologize for it, but it's a good one. So if we're talking about, have creating content for luxury, right? For content for luxury. Sorry, my earphones are doing something weird. I'm gonna take them out. Okay. So we're talking about that. I think about, look, it's a sad state of affairs, but it is true that a lot of people end up dissolving their marriage, right? So these are people that dissolve their marriage and they have to move, right? So what I might do if it was me is I might start thinking, how would I serve somebody in their time of need, right? Their time of need is, hey, I'm leaving my marriage, I'm moving on with my life, I probably have to move, I probably have to sell or buy something. I would want to reach out to divorce attorneys, estate planning attorneys, and say, hey, in the luxury space, what are some of the common challenges around real estate that these people experience? Right? Get those questions and then answer those questions. And you can start talking about that on social media. Now, again, it's not doom and gloom stuff. It's like, hey, people have a need. 58% of all marriages sadly don't make it. So this is something that does happen, and you can create content, and you want to know, again, you want to know the need.
So I love that. And then we were talking earlier about engage. So that's a great time that maybe you can be doing an interview with a divorce lawyer, estate planner, anyone who, when we're talking about engaging collaborations, interviews, co-blogs, like ways that you're exposing yourself to their circles. So if you're doing a video interview for any social platform with that divorce attorney or with that estate planner or the money manager, that's perfect. So not only are you speaking to your ideal client, but you're also getting exposure to that person's other circle, right? We're expanding our sphere of influence into theirs. So to that point, that's the perfect thing to do. You should do that for no matter what niche you're in, whether you're in the luxury niche or not. You should be thinking about, how do I speak to more than just the people who already know me? I mean, first of all, activate your existing sphere of influence, but then to layer on growing your sphere of influence, that's how we do it, through the other people who could overlap with our sphere, like the divorce lawyers, the estate planners, the financial planners.
Yeah. And so I always think, like, it doesn't always even have to be real estate content too, right? As long as you're providing value, maybe it's a tangentially related service, financial planning, choosing a school for children, these kind of things that all sort of revolve around real estate. Like, these is content ideas. So Kim is the master of helping you to sort of suss out those content ideas and help strategize and plan that stuff so that you can actually just hit play, basically, or hit record and start pushing that content out. And if you're not doing it, like let's be honest, people, clients aren't reading your newsletters. I'm not saying stop sending newsletters. You should send newsletters. I mean, it's something, it's better than nothing, but they're not reading them, but they are going to watch your videos. So make videos. We know that it is what it is. People are watching videos, they're not reading as much. So let's create as much video content as possible. Let's just make it really, really valuable to our sphere of influence or the people we're trying to attract. Kim shows you how to do that. I cannot tell you how many of our listeners have gone over to Kim and done her boot camp and have reported back just insane results. I need to do it as well for my business. So I'm going to be signing up. I want everyone to sign up as well. Kim, thank you once again. You are such a friend and to the show. She is here every single month, not just here, but on the show itself. She has her own segment. We like her so much. She has her own episode every single month on the podcast. KimRittberg.com is where you go. Schedule a 15-minute call with her. Trust me, it's worth your time and it's free. Why not? And Kim is the real deal. I mean, she is the real deal. And I will also say this too, for anyone out there who is a little like, I'm not good on camera. Guys, I started this podcast 7 years ago with 0 listeners. I mean, I did have a previous podcast with like no listeners. So I did technically have a show before this, but nobody cared. So it's not like I had any sort of real experience other than like not getting people to listen. But I started this show 7 years ago and I just committed to doing it for a year. And within a year, I started to build an audience. People started to listen. It took over a year before anyone really cared. And here we are now 7 years later, was one of the most listened to shows in the industry. And I don't say that to brag because like, who cares? But I say that to sort of impress upon you that like this can work for anybody. I don't have any particularly strong interviewing skills, and people might compliment me and say I do, but the truth is I've just done it a lot. The reality is you can do this a lot too. If you're not good on camera, don't worry. You don't have to be. You'll get good. You'll get good doing something. You have to just put your 10,000 hours in. And let's face it, video isn't going away. Reading might be going away, sadly, but video is not going away. So let's reach out to Kim, get on her boot camp. Let's make that happen this year. There's not been another year where leads are more important than this year, right? So let's get on there, schedule time with her. Kim, thank you so much. And I also, thanks. We will also be sending out all the videos, all the links, guys. Thank you for this entire day. You've put in 3 hours with us. I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to be sending out all this information to you via email. So just give us a couple days on that. And thank you for your participation. Also, I am going to be inviting you to tell me what your biggest current real estate challenge is. I'm going to be sending each of you a text message asking you to tell me what that is, because I want to create content for that for the podcast. And maybe I'll even invite you to be on the show to answer it. But I want to make sure I know that I have my finger on the pulse of what's going on with our listeners. So thank you so much. Thank you to our speakers, our amazing speakers. Thank you to Kim here at the end. And we will see everybody on the next episode. Thanks, guys.